So my name is Zähringer. I'm a senior research scientist at the Center for Development and Environment at the University of Bern.
My name is Sandra Eckert. I'm also a senior research scientist and also working at the Center for Development and Environment at the University of Bern.
So what is the topic of the project that SNIS is funding?
Yeah, so the topic is about governance processes and sustainability impacts of the extractive industries, and this in the country of Madagascar.
I was going to ask about maybe giving more context, as you said, to the subject.
Sure, so our project is about the extractive industries, and that sector has really taken off since the mid-1950s, one could say, and nowadays the places of consumption of these minerals are mainly in the global north, whereas the places of extraction are actually located in developing economies in the global south.
And what are some of the research questions that you are going to look at?
So we are interested in understanding the governance processes around such extractive investments in Madagascar. That's a context that has been heavily targeted by such large-scale extractive investments. And there we are focusing specifically on the question of social and environmental impact assessments, the different stakeholders and their role in those assessments, how they link to each other, and the different power issues around these links. So this is one part of our research. And then a second part looks at the spatially explicit impacts of those large-scale extractive investments. So we are looking both at direct and indirect impacts in terms of impacts on land use, surrounding farmers' livelihoods, but also security issues around these extractive investments in Madagascar. And then lastly, we also want to understand what potential transformative pathways are to improve the contribution of such large-scale extractive investments towards the Sustainable Development Goals and the 2030 Agenda.
And what are the methods that you intend to use in order to achieve these goals?
Yeah, so we're using a mixed method approach, so basically tapping on our project consortium's experiences and expertise. These are methods from the social sciences, environmental sciences, but also from geography, because we're looking at it from a place-based, but also from a process-based conceptualization of the scales that we're looking at. So we're looking at what's happening at local level, at national level, but also at international level. And to capture all this in a holistic way, we combine quantitative methods, but also qualitative methods. To give you an example, for quantitative methods is that we're looking at it from space through satellite images. And on the qualitative side, we're doing semi-structured interviews, surveys, stakeholder meetings, and different stakeholder meetings. I mean, on local level, but also on national level, and try to identify like change agents that can help us to discover transformative pathways, but also that can help us to change and, transform the whole process.
And what do you hope to achieve within 2 years' time?
So, well, first of all, we want to have a better understanding of the impacts of these investments, but also on how actually the different environmental and social impact processes function in Madagascar. But then on this basis of understanding the problems in this sector, we really want to move a step further towards an understanding of, well, how can we now address these problems? And for this, we engage throughout the project in a transdisciplinary research approach. So we work together from the beginning with different stakeholders, academic and non-academic, in Madagascar and also internationally. And towards the second phase of the project, we will engage in co-design workshops where, in a visioning process, we will first better define like the targets or where actually we want to move towards in this sector, and then also through what kind of innovative actions can we then move towards achieving those targets in the future.